Okay, so the next speaker that we're going to hear from today is Gina Milano. She's a registered dietitian and certified specialist in obesity and weight management. She works within the Stanford Lifestyle and Weight Management Clinic. She dedicates herself to supporting individuals in achieving their maximum health and wellness potential. Through a range of nutrition education classes and one-on-one classes, or counseling, Gina assists individuals in enhancing their nutrition knowledge and skills, particularly in the areas of weight management and bariatric surgery. So today, Gina will be talking about meal planning, the recipe for success. Thank you so much, Gina.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us. We're super happy to have you here. And as you know, we are celebrating National Nutrition Month, where we are going beyond the table. So oftentimes as dietitians, we're giving you guidance on how to improve your hydration, what foods to shop for at the grocery store, how to put your foods together, as Elaine was just showing you with that nice My Plate method with lots of veggies, proteins, all whole grain carbs. But how do we put that all together? So we're going beyond the table today, and we're thinking about creating those concepts into meal planning, which is arguably one of the most hardest things to do when it comes to dialing in your nutrition and your health. So I'm going to give you some recipes for success on how to accomplish meal planning and make it practical for your day-to-day to help achieve your nutrition and lifestyle goals. But first, we want to talk about some benefits of meal planning because we always want to connect to why we're doing something. Why should I want to do this in the first place? So, a few reasons that we want to consider meal planning is time saving. We are all incredibly busy and juggling multiple hats throughout the day. At the end of the day, you often have that dreaded conversation and you ask yourself, what is for dinner? So, rather than putting yourself in that place, we want to take a step back, and by planning your meals ahead of time, it takes you out of that chaos that you might be experiencing when it comes to your meal times. Also, by planning ahead, you're thinking about prioritizing healthier choices. So, taking the time to think about, did I include a protein at that meal? Did I include a whole grain carbohydrate option? Did I include an option that I like? It really helps you connect with what you're eating and also making sure that it's something that you enjoy. This is a great way to also be conscious of your monthly spending, especially if you find that you're someone who falls into the trap of all of the beautiful displays at the end of the aisles. I know Trader Joe's always gets me with those beautiful displays at the end of the aisles. And so to help avoid those impulse purchases, maybe this is where by planning ahead, you have your grocery list and you're ready to go. It makes it a little bit less easy or more easy to follow along with your plan. Again, reducing stress is huge. We already have plenty of that on a day-to-day, and this can be one less thing for you to worry about as you go in with the plan. Increasing variety is also really key. I often hear people mention, I'm tired of eating the same chicken and broccoli. Food does not have to be boring, and by creating a meal plan, we not only can help reduce food fatigue, but as Elaine mentioned, by thinking about these different components like your prebiotic and your probiotic foods, we can actually take that step to say, hey, I'm going to incorporate this. And this is actually not only going to increase my food variety, but actually my gut microbiome, which we know is so beneficial for so many reasons. And last but not least, if you're thinking about weight management, you're also thinking about overall calorie consumption, meal planning, and even meal prepping can be really benefit for the portion control. So as we go over these couple steps, really keep these benefits in mind. Now, I like to call this the 3 Ps of meal planning. This is my version. I don't know if this is a thing out in the other ether of the world, but this is what I find works. So we're going to break our meal planning down into our 3 Ps. Now, the first P is step one, which is planning. So what I like to suggest is thinking about your week as a whole. You have your 7 days of the week, and you really want to think about what your schedule looks like. For this example, we'll really be focusing on planning our dinner meals. So if we're thinking about our 7 days, maybe we're planning to do leftovers 2 nights a week. We're going to go out on the town and have some fun. So that leaves us with 4 meals that we need to plan for the week. You also want to take into account, is it just me? Am I incorporating family, friends, maybe roommates into the meal planning, which that often will increase the amount of food that you will need. I like to incorporate leftovers because it's a great way to take the pressure off of you to prepare something from scratch every single night of the week. It also is a great way to reduce food waste. So that could be something to think about if you struggle with that piece. And then during the planning process, as you're thinking about those 4 meals that you're going to prepare during the week, I encourage you to think about PFC: protein, fiber, and color. That kind of keeps that simple thought in your head that says, yes, protein, fiber, color, I got it. That's going to maximize the nutrition. And then you can incorporate your other favorite ingredients to make sure you're checking off all your boxes. And last but not least, you can't forget to check your pantry and your freezer. I can't tell you how many times I've stuffed things in the freezer and pantry, and then you go to the store and you buy the same ingredients. That also can be a great place to gather inspiration from when you're looking at the pantry and the freezer. Now, planning can also be simplified by using different themes and having another written plan. So just like Elaine was talking about Taco Tuesday with our pickled vegetables, having a theme can also make planning much easier. So maybe for your 4 meals, you have Taco Tuesday, maybe we have Thai Thursday, and maybe we also love a pizza night Friday. Those themes simply give you a goal, and then you can target what your meal composition will be. Now, I'm a tactile person. I love a good meal planning pad. A little hard for you to see here, but you can really invest in a little meal planning pad or use an online template to help you write down your meals and your plan for the week. And oftentimes those will come with a little grocery shopping list on the side where you write everything down so it's easy for you to rip off and take to the grocery store. I also have a few different online options in case we have those who are very tech savvy. So Plate Joy, Meal Lime, Paprika, Eat This Much. These are all some great meal planning apps, in addition to some other resources such as the Real Food Dietitian, which is a great online resource for those of you who love Instapot or slow cooker recipes, etc. Now, once you've planned everything, it's time for our second P. We're going to purchase things. We're going to head to the grocery store and really get this process started. Now, for some of you, we may want to consider doing an online grocery order and picking it up, because if you feel that going into the grocery store is kind of a big barrier for you, whether it's the impulse purchases, whether it's your time management, we can also maximize delivery groceries. That can be really helpful. We also want to embrace shortcuts. So there's always that fear that we have to cook and make everything from scratch. It doesn't have to be like that. This is where frozen vegetables, quick cooking grains, pre-cut veggies, or fruits can really come into play. And so don't be hesitant to utilize those. Those can make the preparation process so much simpler and more fun as well. Shopping in season or local at your farmer's market, or having a list of in-season produce. Oftentimes you can find that if you go to the USDA website, and it gives you a lot of the in-season produce for right now, especially in the spring. We're having things like asparagus, carrots, leeks, etc. Those can be a really great way to add those to your meals as well. And of course, by planning ahead, you also can take a look at maybe coupons or on sale options that are happening within the grocery stores, and that can be helpful to use different apps for different grocery stores. For example, if you are an Amazon Prime member, you can get some discounts at Whole Foods, or if you're a Sprouts shopper, you download their app for discounts as well. Now on to step 3. We've purchased all of our groceries for the week. Now this point, when you get home from the grocery store, this is a magical moment. So you really want to take advantage of this. The moment that you bring your groceries up from your car, the bus, however you got your groceries to the kitchen, you want to take advantage of this moment. Instead of just putting your bell peppers and your chicken straight into the fridge, closing it and saying goodbye until Monday, this can be a step where you say, hey, I'm going to do some prep work right now. I want to eat more vegetables, so let me wash and slice my veggies, put them in an airtight container, and have it ready to go. Or maybe as you're thinking about those 4 meals you're going to make during the week, you're like, I know I'm a little bit short on time, so what can I do now to thank myself later? So that's where maybe I'm going to put my chicken into a bag with a fun marinade. Maybe I'm going to prep some veggies and throw it in the oven. Maybe I'm going to cook some grains ahead of time. So those small little steps that you can take advantage really makes the preparation on day of a little bit easier to tackle. Also, just having things easily accessible can make a huge difference. So rather than keeping your oranges, your apples in the bag that they came in, let's display them, make them beautiful, put them out on the counter. So as you're walking by, you're likely more ready to grab that than maybe something else you would in the pantry. And last but not least, you also can create little fun meal kits for yourself. So rather than purchasing something like HelloFresh, you could make your own HelloFresh. So maybe this is where you have a plan to make a chicken stir fry. You put all of your ingredients together in a little container on Sunday, and then it's ready to go for when you have chicken stir fry on Tuesday. Now, this is a little bit of a busier slide, but I wanted to give you a nice little breakdown of what this would look like if you've planned for the week. So we have your 7 days for the week. We have 2 nights where we're doing leftovers, 1 night where we're hitting the town, and we have our 4 meals for the week. And as you can see, we've broken this down into frozen, fresh, and pantry. Sometimes that can also be a great way to organize your grocery list when you're checking it out. And so this just kind of helps you see that you can utilize frozen, fresh, and pantry staples to make delicious, healthy, and fun meals. And so hopefully with that, that gives you a great idea into our meal planning with our 3 Ps. So whether or not you feel ready to tackle it all or just one step, hopefully this gives you some ideas and some good guidance on how to get started.
Thank you so much, Gina. I think also just how you talked about the 3 Ps and then you really just brought it together with an example of a meal plan. I think sometimes just seeing things actually created is just so helpful because then we can go back and really look at it and say what fits into our life. So thank you so much for that just really practical example as well. Some people are asking if we're going to share our slides. Everyone is willing to share slides from this presentation. Thank you so much.